Welcome back to Local 4 Live on your Thursday morning. It is 9:10. Court is about to get started on day 4 of the hearing in the murder of a well-known Detroit doctor. Desmond Burks is going before a judge for a preliminary hearing for the death of Dr. Devon Hoover. Now, Hoover was a neurosurgeon at Ascension Hospital in Detroit and was found dead in his Boston-Edison home back in 2023. Erica Erickson has been covering this case all week. She'll be joining us in a moment. But first, let's take a look at what happened in court yesterday, a big day in court.
Did he have a consistent source of income?
No, he was a hustler.
More testimony from those who knew 34-year-old Desmond Burks well.
Did you previously indicate that he was broke?
Yes.
Reluctantly taking the stand to determine if he'll head to trial for the murder of well-known Dr. Devon Hoover back in April of 2023.
I didn't want to believe it.
You didn't want to believe it?
No.
Because you loved him?
Yes.
Prosecutors say Burks was seen in Fairlane Mall on video, a witness confirming cash purchases at a jewelry store, and prosecutors say 2 Cartier watches belonging to Hoover, one he purchased 2 days before he was killed, were discovered in homes linked to Burks, with serial numbers to match. Burks even seen wearing one of them.
What did he say about that watch?
He said that's big money.
He said that's big money?
Big money watch, yeah.
And was he showing it off?
Yes.
And did he say big money Des?
Yes.
One witness testifying Wednesday, Burks began acting suspiciously after the doctor's murder.
And what was it that you heard him say?
He was looking for a chop shop.
And did you ever hear him speak of a gun?
Yes, he said he needed to get rid of one.
Another woman says Burks admitted to knowing Hoover, called him a homophobic slur, and used his stolen credit card to go on a shopping spree.
And what do you want you to do with it?
Buy myself something nice.
All right, we're sitting down with Erica. You have spent countless days and hours, paying really close detail to the court. And obviously, we do a story and we can only encapsulate a few minutes. But I have a lot of questions.
No, you do. I know you do.
Gosh. Okay.
Where do we start,
I know,
right?
where do we start? Okay, well, in court yesterday, let's start with just the overall feeling and talk to me a little bit about the witnesses, because sometimes you can't really share all of that.
So first of all, it has been a little bit difficult because the judge put an order on what we can say. Mm-hmm. There have been threats on both sides of this, mm-hmm. and he said, quote, lives are at stake, so we are. That's why we're distorting voices, and we're not showing people and just using gender. So one of the interesting things yesterday was one of the the judge declared her to be hostile because she was not cooperating with the prosecution. She's a witness for the prosecution, but she was not cooperative with either side. She couldn't remember a lot of details, and it looked like they were looking at each other, the defendant and this witness. And I'm noticing that the defendant had been in a lot of relationships with not only women, but men during these years in question surrounding this murder.
I was going to ask you, too, about the video, because that's the first I've seen. I mean, that was very clear with him in this watch.
Another
that seems
central,
a pretty key moment.
That's a key piece of this case, these 2 watches. So there was a Cartier watch that Dr. Hoover allegedly purchased, and he had another one that he was seen wearing. 2 of those watches were found, this is what prosecutors say, one at Burks's home and another at an associate of Burks. Then he's seen wearing it on surveillance video. And that last video that they showed, prosecutors, it appears that he's removing the watch that he was bragging about to his associates and saying, big money Des.
Right.
And
there was a talk, and I could be mixing up my days because I've been following this.
No, yeah, it's confusing.
There was talk about some money, $21,000.
About $21,000
so talk to me about
worth.
where that plays.
So more information came out yesterday, again, that not only had he been kind of siphoning this money from Dr. Hoover's account, again, allegedly, but sending it to friends through Cash App.
Okay.
But essentially kind of cleaning cash and sending it to associates, asking them to send some of it back to a different account.
Okay.
And then there was a stolen credit card of Dr. Hoover's that a witness testified yesterday. She wrote down Dr. Hoover's name and an account number, and they went on a shopping spree. She was looking at Gucci bags and Nike shoes, and they were texting back and forth and, talking about hey, what did you buy? What did you buy with the money?
What's the demeanor? I mean, we only saw a few shots of him in court, but he didn't. There were some moments he's smiling.
There were a lot of moments where
Okay.
he's smiling, and he was deemed competent to stand trial. So, and again, this hasn't gone to trial. We're figuring that out right now. But he has been seen mouthing things to different witnesses.
Okay.
I think a couple days ago, he did say out loud that he loved one of his family members when they were walking out. So he's laughing at times. I did see a couple of times he did have his head down when there were a couple of witnesses breaking up on the stand. So he
So-
did get a little emotional at times too.
So what's next in terms of today and what we're expecting
Final
to hear?
arguments today. We could hear some more from the defense. They've said, hey, just because there was a man limping in this video with a distinct walk doesn't mean it's him.
And he has a limp.
And he has a limp. But yesterday they did say we found a fingerprint of his in Dr. Hoover's SUV. Maybe the defense will say, well, they knew each other.
Right.
They knew
There's
each other really
A lot
well.
of pieces to this.
A lot of pieces.
All right. So today you'll be covering it.
10 a.m.
All right.
starts.
Starts at 10 a.m. And it's been going long, but final arguments shouldn't take that long, right?
We'll see.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know, Karen.
We'll keep it updated and click on stream. And of course, we'll check back with you.
Yes, thank
4,
you.
5, and 6.
You got it.
All right. Thanks, Erica.
Thanks.